Hey everyone, thanks for coming back to another segment of the MCR. Mac and me, my name's TJ. Thanks everyone for your support. Our Rumble views are definitely experiencing a favorable uptick. So if you're watching us on Rumble, thanks everyone. In this segment, I'd like to share my thoughts on Hunter Biden's pardon. And I do believe I have a unique perspective to this. Something that I have not seen what I'm about to say in many of the news reports. So if anyone's said it, forgive me. But in any event, I'll preface my thoughts with this: this pardon sucks. I'm not really surprised.
No.
And I don't even know if I'm upset about it. I mean, it sucks, but that's about as upset as I can get.
Well, it's not anything. It doesn't surprise. I mean, the Democrats are all pretending they're shocked. I don't understand why. I think maybe it's the depth of the pardon, the 11-year span. I mean, he didn't just pardon him for the crimes he was convicted of.
That's right.
He is pardoning him for crimes that they haven't convicted him of yet.
But that they might in the future. So now let's just clear all that off the table.
Yeah, because and not just that, and I think this is something that needs to be addressed maybe by the Supreme Court or as to how constitutional it is. Is it all right for a president to give a pardon that's essentially going to cover, by pardoning you, I get covered?
Yeah.
Because I'm in a conspiracy with you. So if you're pardoned, they can't get me.
Well, just like that, you've kind of jumped forward to a couple of my points, and I'm going to hold on to that last one till a little bit later here. But you mentioned the time span, and yeah, that did catch a little people off guard. It goes back to January of 2014, and what happens in 2014? We'll say springtime-ish. He goes to Burisma in Ukraine. Okay, right?
Right.
And so begins the tomfoolery of the Biden crime family. Okay.
All right.
Trump becomes president in 2016. He makes that infamous phone call to Zelensky, where the can you say Vindman brothers, okay,
Right.
find it so offensive that it must be reported. And then so begins his first impeachment. You follow where you see how I'm connecting these dots?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, you got to get him out of there before he finds out about you.
And so now, and let me just come to the punchline here. Hunter Biden is basically Trump's "I told you so." When you think about it,
it's a vindication of sorts.
Exactly. And I have not seen in any news report portrayed like that. It's bad. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. Blah, 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 blah. But I have not heard really anyone say, hey, man, this is Trump's "I told you so." And yet we begin the first impeachment over this kind of nonsense.
Yeah.
I mean, this Hunter Biden is Trump's "I told you so."
It is the classic example where there's smoke, there's fire.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Joe's putting out the fire before we can before we see any more smoke.
And there's all sorts of theories and speculations on this pardon now. I've heard some legal people, whether it be Fox or because I listen to all these commentaries, whether it be Dan Bongino or whoever else, because I listen to a wide assortment of them. But the general consensus is he's pardoned. So guess what? What is the Fifth Amendment intended to prevent?
It's self-incrimination.
Self-incrimination to what most likely would lead to a conviction. Well, he's pardoned from that conviction. So does he still enjoy the Fifth Amendment? Okay.
Well, it doesn't, and it never has included. I don't have to testify to anything that will incriminate myself, but I do have to testify to something that may incriminate you.
Well, if he's pardoned, if he's already pardoned, then he can't be convicted about as to anything he might self-incriminate, we'll say.
No,
Also,
but there is a risk for him in committing perjury, which then would be
exactly,
a new crime.
exactly.
And then
Or,
but here's the thing. Does anybody believe that's going to happen?
well, I know what you're saying, and I don't dispute that, but it was thrown out there that others might also want to be pardoned. But here's the thing. So you can still be called to testify. If you don't show up, it's contempt. If you lie, it's perjury. Uh, and the thought being was, okay, maybe they don't suffer in the courts. Maybe they're not sent to prison, but hopefully at the least, and I say hopefully at the least, they are politically ruined.
Right.
I
Or
mean,
exposed for what they are, and there's a long list of maybe more of these type of pardons coming. Come to mind. Now they're talking about a pardon for General Milley. Now, why might General Milley need a pardon? And Liz Cheney, why might Liz Cheney need a pardon? And you know what the point you made about how he can't claim the fifth anymore? Well, neither can they.
that's right. That's right.
So, uh, and while I don't like her, Liz Cheney is not going to get away with I can't remember because I'm a crackhead.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
really.
and another guy from the past, I'm sure you're familiar with. I think it was Lieutenant Colonel or Colonel Vindman.
Oh, that's why I said, say, can you see Vindman?
Yeah, might he also need one?
And his brother just won an election out of Virginia. I don't know what district. I mean, I could look it up and find out easily enough. But yeah, he's got a twin brother. They were both in the military, and Vindman's twin brother, Vindman, is now Congressman Vindman. So yeah, that guy needs to get ruined politically, I say.
I have to wonder.
Oh, as a Democrat,
of course, yeah. Mitt Romney, that's his choice. He could be a Democrat if he wants. Is Mitt Romney going to need a pardon? Is Mitt Romney's son going to need a pardon?
Adam Schiff.
Why does Adam Schiff need a pardon?
Yeah,
He just
the new
bringing
California
out the truth.
senator,
Right.
Adam Schiff, the one who would get on CNN and talk about all the evidence they have against Trump, going, and this is why I get worked up, going back to this is I told you so for Trump,
Right.
if Trump was so wrong, then why does Hunter need a pardon,
Right.
So
or any of these folks.
And I guess I'll keep beating that dead horse. The corpse is rotting now, as I like to say. But anyways, I've said my piece on this. Just thank goodness Trump won this election, or else he'd still be getting persecuted for Hunter's nonsense, the Biden crime family's nonsense there in Ukraine and wherever else internationally. So that's all I got for this one. I mentioned in our previous video I'd be up for another rant, and I hope I didn't disappoint anybody. So, okay. All right. Well, thanks everyone for your support. We'll call this one a wrap. Catch you in the next one. As always, be safe, watch your six, and don't tread on me.